He went over there to it again. Oh, that one got it. It's actually still pretty good fish. Not bad. He's hooked right where he wanted to be hooked at. Kind of what we picked up on. I ain't been out here in a couple months. Water's warming up drastically. I assume these males are up here. That was probably a male. They're up on these dirt shallow clay points. You can tell we're just an 8 foot. And here on these herring lakes, these spots tend to spawn in that 8 to 12 foot range. So I think these males are up here just kind of making beds, kind of just swimming around, checking everything out. Spots are kind of like smallmouth. They tend to spawn deeper. Most of the time you can't sight fish a spot. You gotta necessarily just cast around till you find his bed. Bunch of males up here. Females can't be far. This right here is from CrushCity. It's called the Janitor. I've got it rigged up on a Neko. I tend to throw more of this kind of finesse-style worm over a Senko. It doesn't seem to wad up as much on your hook. Also, this little VMC, they make that little bait keeper right there. This is wider than your normal band. It's clear, so it's hard to see, but it's like that wide. What that does is it keeps your bait from wanting to wad up around your hook. Also, this finesse-or style bait, weed guard on it, throw it in brush, everything like that. This is an island. This is the biggest island in this little general area here, and it's got a few pockets that tend to come run up in here in it. And the reason these fish choose this pocket so easily is because like right there is 100 foot of water. So they got deep water right next to them. They're sitting in that timber, floating, eating bait. As soon as the water temp gets right and it gets warm, they just pull up. They swim 50 yards and they're up here. They look freaking large. There ain't no way that little bitty thing made it look like that. Not too bad. I went to a Ned Rig. These fish were kind of just following my Neko down, so I figured something moving a little bit faster might get more of a reaction style bite. And that time it did. It sinks by them so fast, sometimes they don't get a good look at it. They just run down there and bite it. I went to a smaller profile bait. Lost a couple this morning on a Neko just because of nipping at it, so I went to a smaller profile worm, see if it makes a difference, and on that one it did. Yeah, there was actually just a little wolf pack of them up here. That's anywhere from 8 to 10 foot up here on this shallow clay point. All I'm doing with this Ned Rig is I'm picking them off, so I'll just see them swimming up there on the bottom, and I'll fling it in front of them. Most of the time they'll see it when it starts sinking, and then they just run over and nose up to it. Most of the time I'll let mine hit and I'll let it sit 5-10 seconds on the bottom, just kind of sit there and soak up, let them stare at it. And sometimes it makes a difference, sometimes it doesn't. All right, so as you can tell here, this is red. The red's shallow, blue's deep. As you can tell here, you got a creek channel running in. And on these points right here, as you can tell, there's a lot of red that runs out. And that gives these fish more room to spawn. They're not just right on the bank, because this lake's super deep. As you can tell here, it's straight off. And this is all I'm looking for. There's deep drains going into each of these pockets, shallow points on each side. It gives these fish a place to pull up and spawn whenever they get ready. Oh. Ned Rig and suspenders. Quit. Yes, I looked out here and there was a group of like 20 or 30 swimming along. That's all I had tied on, so I just flipped a Ned Rig. I didn't think twice about it. For my Ned Rig, this is on a 610 medium light. I like a softer tip on a Ned Rig. 13 fishing myth. Just my personal preference. Feels like you can cast it around a lot more accurate, being this Ned Rig super light. This is 10-pound Suffolk braid to a 10-pound Suffolk leader. This is probably a 1/2 ounce Ned Rig head with a Ned BLT from CrushCity. A suspended Ned Rig. Never done that day in my life, but we'll take it. Well, the sun finally popped out after all day, so we eased up here and got in some shallow flats and gonna look around for some, just swimming around up here, floating around, because you very well could run into some largemouth up here doing it. We'll look around for a little bit while this sun's coming out and see if we can't find some. That's big. Oh my God, it's a giant. Big largemouth. You don't see one like that every day out here. Old Ned VLT. So we're out here today so far. I've tried a Neko and a Ned Rig. Seems to be a Ned Rig's outcaught the Neko for whatever reason that may be. Everything that comes down to this time of year is catching pre-spawners and being around pockets. All my fish came from the mouth of pockets, in pockets. They've always been around a pocket. So pocket's your best, that's your best friend. Big one sitting right on it, like a big one. There went down on it. I mean, it's a giant. Come on, baby, bite. She got it. Big one. How about it? Every second it changed. We was out there 5 minutes ago catching little spots. Now we're up here catching big largemouth up dirt shallow. Ned Rig. I could say they like a BLT.